raise your hand if you have ever had a girl say something bad about you behind your back.
Okay, so I'm Bob, and I'm a mediator, and today we're looking at a classic mediation from the movie Mean Girls. You might not remember it, but Tina Fey is the mediator, and there's a lot to learn.
Let me help you down there. Whoa! Hell no! I did not leave the South Side for this. Gymnasium is me.
You're a successful, intelligent, caring, graceful woman.
I am?
There has to be something that you can say to these young ladies, something to help them with their self-esteem.
It's not a self-esteem problem. I think they're all pretty pleased with themselves. Okay, everybody close your eyes. All right. I want you to raise your hand if you have ever had a girl say something bad about you behind your back. Open your eyes. Now, close your eyes again. And this time, I want you to raise your hand if you have ever said anything about a friend behind her back. Open them.
Okay. This is an unconventional approach to a mediation, but there's some things here that I might call a best practice, believe it or not. First, creativity. One of the things mediators do, really good mediators, is getting people a little bit out of their comfort zone. And this little close your eyes, raise your hand thing, I kind of like it. Secondly, very, very crafty thing that Tina Fey does here is within a minute, she gets everybody in the room to acknowledge some contribution to where we've gotten in the conflict. I gotta tell you, as a mediator, sometimes it could take days, hours, long periods of time. Sometimes you never get a party to admit that they have any contribution to the conflict situation in which we find ourselves. Good job, Tina Fey.
Do today is a couple exercises to help you express your anger in a healthy way. Let's start over here.
Miss Norbury had us confront each other directly about the things that were bothering us. And it seemed like every clique had its own problems.
You've been acting really stuck up ever since you switched to short fielder, and Dawn agrees with me.
Dawn? Don't drag me into this. I'm pitching tomorrow.
So let me just pause here for something else that I really like, which is actually having people share their feelings with each other. Now, to be clear, the way these girls are doing this isn't super skillful, but the instinct to get people to share their feelings about something that happened is a pretty good mediator instinct.
Say that we don't have a clique problem at this school, and some of us shouldn't have to take this workshop because some of us are just victims in the situation?
That's probably true. How many of you have ever felt personally victimized by Regina George? Good. Okay, so we're all here because of this book, right? Well, I don't know who wrote this book, but you all have got to stop calling each other sluts and whores. It just makes it okay for guys to call you sluts and whores. Who here has ever been called a slut? Okay, everybody up.
Miss Norbury had us write out apologies to people that we'd hurt in our lives.
Alyssa.
Okay, before we see the apologies, let me say I worked well and I do differently. Apology is such a powerful tool whenever you're in a situation of conflict. And mediators can often use an apology to move forward on a whole bunch of the substantive issues. Because often, the reason why people are fighting over X, Y, or Z isn't really because of X, Y, or Z. It's because someone feels hurt, or feels taken advantage of, or feels victimized in some way. And so an apology, when genuine, can be really helpful in a mediation. Now, you know I'm not going to let Tina Fey entirely off the hook here, because making someone apologize is actually coercion. And mediators should not coerce. So forcing someone to apologize, not a worked well, not a mediator move. Still, you know what? This is just a fun movie, and there's some progress here. Now let's see how the apologies go.
I'm sorry I called you a gap-toothed bitch. It's not your fault you're so gap-toothed.
Gretchen, I'm sorry I laughed at you that time you got diarrhea at Barnes & Noble. And I'm sorry I told everyone about it. And I'm sorry for repeating it now.
Okay, so these apologies are both funny and also gross, but I want to notice something that we just saw here, which is that when you're apologizing, you actually feel some catharsis yourself. And that is actually something that we're seeing here. Now, unreciprocated apology is very painful and maybe not something you would do in a mediation, but one of the beauties of mediation is that not only can it help repair relationships, not only can it help parties move forward and resolve issues, but often there's a weight on yourself that can be lifted.
I don't hate you because you're fat. You're fat because I hate you.
I just wish we could all get along like we used to in middle school. I wish that I could bake a cake made out of rainbows and smiles and we'd all eat it and be happy.
She doesn't even go here.
Do you even go to this school?
No, I just have a lot of feelings.
Okay, go home.
Sharon, I think you're doing a great job.
Thanks, I feel like I'm getting through.
I'm sorry that people are so jealous of me, but I can't help it that I'm popular.
Oh my god. Oh, jeez. Okay, walk it off. Walk it off. Okay.
What a great way to end. The dangers of a completely fake apology, right? This is something that, I mean, not quite in this way, but I've seen in mediations. Like, I've literally asked the question, right? What is one thing you regret in this situation? With the answer being, I regret ever entering business with my nemesis across the table. This is literally what we see here, right? The apology that's actually a bizarre way of blaming the other person. Not typically helpful in a mediation, not typically helpful as a way to move forward. But gosh, there's all sorts of, in this like completely crazy and ridiculous scene from Mean Girls, neat little learnings, right? So for example, really good mediators sometimes will use some creative exercises to get people out of their comfort zone and to get them to own some piece of their contribution of why they're in the conflict that they're in. Secondly, acknowledging the presence of strong emotions can be really helpful to help parties move forward productively in a mediation. Third, when appropriate, inviting an opportunity to apologize for your contribution can actually sometimes ease the way around some substantive difficulties. Obviously, some things to avoid are coercion or the apology that's masking as blaming. So if you want to get some more negotiation insights from some really cool TV show, keep on watching as I look at Schitts Creek. Also, please be nice to me by liking this video, subscribing to my channel, and ringing the bell so that you're notified every time there's a new channel here. Click, 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 keep on watching Schitts Creek.